Hello everyone! Today, we will be providing information given to the Foundation by an insider we will refer to as Nox. This information in subsequent analysis has a clearance level of 1. Almost a year ago now, I met someone who claimed to have information about portals and cryptids. They were an insider. They claimed to be contracted out by rare earth mines to combat these occurrences. I was ready to dismiss them. Many have claimed to have insider information, and they usually turn out to be untruthful. However, this one was special. I could not find flaw in his words. He added so many details. A good liar won't add many details. It's too hard to keep track of your own lie. He intrigued me. We'll call him Nox. This was the first part of Nox's credibility that struck me. Someone who lies will not add too many details to their story, as it makes it more difficult to find proof and to keep track of all their lies. This is why they say the best lies contain a bit of the truth. This man is a walking Wikipedia page, never stops adding details, and never slips. If he were hoaxing, not only would his memory and lying ability be impressive, he would have to build houses and hire actors, or at least get others in on his lie. Would a hoaxer go to the point of inviting one of our personnel to his house for a week? What hoaxer would discuss life problems and aid in other research? In addition to that, the Foundation tasked a local miner with disproving Nox, and we ourselves spent quite a long time trying to dispute his claims. The miner just got the higher-ups annoyed at his questions they subsequently dodged, and we still could not find a single shred of credible evidence to disprove him. Well, besides people Nox may not have contacted for years making claims they refuse to back up. So if you want to keep some healthy skepticism, feel free, I suppose. Maybe that random person was right against all odds, but it seems unlikely from an objective perspective. Hoaxers are meant to drop information for a laugh and then dip. This is intensely real and corroborated by evidence and intricate to the point of a fault by someone who invites us to their home and tells us who their family is. This is not a random prankster making things up. We are still in contact, so if you have any further questions, we can ask him for you. Nox hasn't grown up like us. Strangeness like this has been the norm for Nox since he was young. He never had to unlearn what society pretends is reality. He started working as a contractor for rare earth mines, who set him up there as they are hotspots for portals. Nox and his team would hunt down the cryptids that come out of portals and neutralize them or any other threat related to other than normals. That's what they called them, OTNs. While we refer to these things as ASPs, it's all the same. To the point of his work being mainly focused on rare earth mines, this has been corroborated as well. A member of the NIDS team that was involved in the investigation into Skinwalker Ranch reached out to us. During our conversation, Nox was brought up. Before we were able to even mention where he works, this person said, roughly, let me guess, worked in rare earth mines? The fact that we didn't need to say anything and that this person knows about this already is strong evidence that what Nox says is true. They have a list of classifications for these OTNs. This list is almost 3 decades old, so it may be a little outdated. He uses Greek letters to differentiate any other than normal creature, object, or event's characteristics. I want to preface before going into this next section that since it uses the Greek alphabet, this is very commonly used and should not be connected to other systems that decide to use the same names. Just because there are deltas and omicrons does not mean they are connected to COVID variants. Again, this is a very commonly used naming system, so if I see any conspiracies of that sort in the comments, I will likely not even acknowledge them and they will be reported for misinformation. It is dangerous to give misinformation about an active global pandemic, and I will not let my channel be used for such propaganda. Thank you for your understanding. The list is as follows. If it is classified as alpha, it is over 20 feet in length or height. Beta is a biped, gamma is for the incorporeal, and delta is for quadrupeds. Epsilon is one of the items seen on this list that will be revealed in another video where we can adequately answer any lingering questions. Zetas are flying, eta is for burrowing, theta causes temporal anomalies, iota are microscopic organisms or smaller in size, kappa are water-based creatures, lambda are humans with OTN abilities or effects that are allied or present no danger, mu is a mimetic threat, nu is an amnesia-inducing phenomenon, Z are OTNs that occur in groups of 3 or more, Omicron are going to be held off on for now, Pi is a psychokinetic or biokinetic OTN phenomenon, Rho is a sonic frequency manipulation, Sigma causes insanity over a period of time resulting in death or abduction of the targeted person, Tau is an animated, non-living item or group of items, Upsilon is a manufactured item with associated OTN effect, Phi is multiform shape-shifting beings, Chi involves thermodynamic exchange, Psi can affect or control the living, and Omega has no known way to survive, destroy, or report contact with the OTN. Beta-delta OTNs are other than normals that can be both bipedal and quadrupedal. They have a gross ID type. Beta-delta OTNs all demonstrate various degrees of the same observed trait. These include exertion of van der Waals forces allowing vertical or near vertical movement, degrading visibility of form through the use of chromatophore/photophore dermal effects, eye shine without light source due to inward-facing photophores, and in very few confirmed cases, the presence of electrocyte bundles in line with the spinal column. Some beta deltas, however, may not show these observed traits. This is for dogman and crawlers, but may not be applicable to Bigfoot. As I mentioned above, these creatures demonstrate various degrees of these observed traits. In the final part of the list, it describes the various forms OTN creatures may resemble. Caniform means the OTN is canine in form, and they use the example of dogman. Feliform is an OTN that is feline in form, where they use the example of lionman. An oviform is an OTN that is ovine in form, where goatman is used as the example. Ursiform is bear-like, such as the Yanova, which the list used to illustrate what they are describing. Boviform is an OTN bovine in form, such as the minotaur. Protoform is an OTN that is nondescript and often unfinished in form, such as the crawler. Chromatoform is an OTN that is primate in form. They obviously use Bigfoot as their example. And lastly, aviform is avian in form, and the Shrike Man was the example. In terms of the list, it is from roughly the 90s. We do not know the extent of knowledge from that era to now, so the list may be outdated. It also isn't an original copy, nor does it claim to be, and may be incomplete. The list itself contains classifications and the forms of these OTNs. When I asked Knox about the minotaur existing specifically, his response was, if it's on the list. He then proceeded to talk about rumors of extinct upright bovines that may be what it was referring to. This indicates that a lot of the list is just examples. Knox does not know whether or not they are real. He just knows what the list says is true. But what if the list itself is meant to represent something other than what creatures exist? Even though there is Bigfoot on the list, there could just as easily be a fictional creature. These are merely examples, and they may use fictional and non-fictional creatures as examples for the various forms of OTNs. The fact that they are examples on the list may not confirm their existence, even if they do exist. For the forms and the classifications, they may have never even been encountered and are more of a just in case. Obviously, primatiforms like Bigfoot or kappas like giant squid have been encountered, but how the heck would they record an omega? If you cannot destroy, survive, or report contact with it, then why is it on the list other than being for not encountered OTNs? They put that in place to classify some sort of godlike being in case it exists, not because they know it does. These classifications can be mixed and matched. For example, the Kraken is both kappa and alpha. Dogman and crawlers are both beta and delta. This was merely an introductory video, so it did not contain overly specific or expansive content. We will be uploading further videos on subjects such as portals, a new cryptid, and other interesting phenomena brought to our attention by Knox. I will continue to analyze the credibility, science, and relation to our current knowledge with these new topics. Remember, the things Knox says may still be up to interpretation, such as the examples on the list. There may be nuances in his credibility or the credibility of what he tells us that we have missed. Although in the 24 hours of recorded discussions we have not found one flaw, still, we will continue to review the credibility and nuances within each of his claims. Knox told us a lot that we will have in individual videos. Make sure you are ready for those. We have a lot that may shift your understanding of reality. I hope if there is anyone else with information out there that they may come forward. We only have a piece of the puzzle, and we need others to make it complete. Thank you so much for making it this far in the video. Just like my last video, I will tell you a secret. Subscribe to see more Knox content, and like if you enjoyed. Goodbye.